Welcome back to another deep dive into the world of technology. Today, we're going to talk about something that has stirred more excitement than almost any other release this year. We're talking about the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Apple has done something here that many thought would be impossible. They've redesigned, rethought, and reshaped what a smartphone can be. This isn't just another update in the iPhone lineup. This is Apple signaling a new era. The iPhone 17 lineup is wide, covering different needs and budgets. At the entry point, we have the iPhone 17 Air starting at just $50. At the very top, there's the iPhone 17 Pro Max, the flagship device priced at $1,249. Between those two extremes, Apple has created a full spectrum of devices that cater to both casual users and power-hungry enthusiasts. It's a bold strategy, but it shows Apple's intent. They don't want to leave anyone behind. Now let's focus on the star of the show, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This model carries the ultra-premium design. It is not only about looks, but also about feel, weight, and durability. One of the most impressive changes is weight reduction. For years, larger iPhones have been criticized for being heavy. But now, the iPhone 17 Pro Max weighs just over 292 grams, despite carrying a large 6.7-inch screen. That's a serious achievement. It means you can use the phone for long stretches without feeling strain in your hands or wrists. Apple has also worked on the bezels. On the Pro Max, they are kept extremely thin at about 3.5 millimeters. On the iPhone 17 Air, they're a little thicker, around 4.2 millimeters, which helps provide a better grip. Small details like these show how Apple balances beauty with usability. They're not chasing thinness for its own sake. They're thinking about how the phone feels when you hold it in real life. Performance has also been pushed forward. Apple has packed the latest A14 Bionic chip into the iPhone 17 lineup. It's not just about faster benchmarks. It's about what this chip can do with photography, video, and artificial intelligence. Every tap, swipe, and scroll feels smoother. Apps load faster. And behind the scenes, AI integration works in ways that most users won't even notice at first, but that change how the phone anticipates your needs. Now let's talk cameras, because in Apple's premium lineup, cameras are everything. The iPhone 17 Pro Max doesn't just improve. It transforms. At the core is a triple-lens primary camera setup, a 64-megapixel main sensor, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 12-megapixel telephoto. This combination gives incredible clarity and depth. But Apple didn't stop there. They added a secondary 108-megapixel ultra-wide camera with a wide f/1.5 aperture for detailed portrait shots. And the telephoto lens with an f/2.4 aperture allows for zooming into landscapes or close-ups without losing sharpness. Low-light performance has been one of Apple's biggest pushes in recent years. With the iPhone 17 Pro Max, night mode is taken to another level. It uses LiDAR scanning technology to capture more accurate depth even in darkness. This makes nighttime photos sharper, brighter, and closer to what your eyes actually see. No more muddy shadows or washed-out lights. Just clean, detailed shots in conditions that would ruin most cameras. And then comes video. For creators, Apple has built an entirely new set of tools. The HDR log color profile gives videos accurate grading with colors captured across different brightness levels. Shadows look deeper. Highlights are well-defined. Colors feel natural, not artificial. If you switch to HDR Pro mode, you unlock even deeper dynamic range for low-light shooting or complex lighting setups. Sports events, concerts, or even just a family gathering at sunset all look vivid, real, and sharp. Apple has also included support for promotion video technology, which allows faster frame rates and smoother playback. It's not just about looking good on screen. It's about giving creators more flexibility in post-production. Every frame carries more detail, giving editors more control. Whether you're a professional filmmaker or just someone who loves capturing memories, this phone gives you more power than ever before. Now let's pause for a moment and look at the role of artificial intelligence. With the iPhone 17 lineup, Apple is weaving AI into the fabric. of the device. Tools like lock and predict analyze real-time data, monitor user behavior, and predict needs before you even realize them. Businesses can use these tools to track customer interactions. Consumers experience it through smarter recommendations, better battery management, and predictive shortcuts. The phone doesn't just react, it anticipates. Of course, storage and RAM are critical. Apple has expanded the options across the lineup. The Pro Max can come with up to 512 gigabytes of storage, while the Air starts smaller but can reach up to 1 terabyte. A unique new feature is stealth storage. By holding down the volume button in the settings menu, you can unlock hidden storage capacity, up to 30% more space. It's not only a practical solution for data-heavy users. It also gives an extra layer of privacy, keeping some files tucked away from plain view. On the RAM side, the iPhone 17 Air introduces a model with up to 8 gigabytes, enough for smoother multitasking and better performance in demanding apps. Combined with Apple's software optimization, this makes even the lower-end models feel premium. Pricing is always the hottest topic, and Apple knows it. The Pro Max begins at $1,249. A rumored premium variant may even climb to $1,500. The Air, on the other hand, starts at a stealth price of $839. And with the entry-level iPhone 17 priced at just $50, Apple has stretched its pricing strategy wider than ever before. Inflationary pressures, expensive components, and R&D costs all play a role, but so does positioning. Apple is making sure the Pro Max remains the aspirational device while still keeping an entry path open for everyone. What we see here is a company that understands balance. On one side, they're creating a phone that feels futuristic, luxurious, and powerful. On the other, they're making sure that affordability isn't left behind. The lineup gives users choice without forcing them into a single mold. As we close this first section, let's recap. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is lighter, stronger, and more refined. It comes with razor-thin bezels, the powerful A14 Bionic chip, and a camera system that redefines mobile photography and video. It pushes AI deeper into everyday use, gives users new ways to store and protect data, and offers storage and RAM tiers that rival laptops. At the same time, Apple's pricing strategy makes sure there's an iPhone 17 for every type of customer, from casual to professional. This is not just a new phone. It's Apple proving they can still surprise the world. And that's only half the story. In the next section, we'll move beyond the features and specs to ask bigger questions. What does the iPhone 17 Pro Max mean for Apple's future? How does it stack up against the competition? And what does this device say about the smartphone industry as a whole? Stay tuned, because things are about to get even more interesting that we've gone through the details. The design, the weight reduction, the powerful A14 Bionic chip, the upgraded camera system, the advanced AI tools, the wider storage and RAM options, the bold pricing strategy. All of that is impressive. But now, we need to ask the bigger question. What does the iPhone 17 Pro Max actually mean for Apple, for the smartphone market, and for you, the user? Because in the end, specs are only half the story. The other half is impact. Let's start with Apple itself. For more than a decade, Apple has built its brand around being ahead of the curve. Every few years, they release something that feels like a leap, not just a step. The iPhone X did that with Face ID. The iPhone 12 did that with 5G integration. Now, the iPhone 17 lineup, and especially the Pro Max, is being positioned as another one of those leaps. Why? Because it redefines what Apple believes a smartphone should be. Not just a phone, not just a camera, not just a tool, but a predictive, intelligent, and deeply personal companion that blends hardware and AI seamlessly. The A14 Bionic chip is not just about speed. It's about enabling AI functions that make the device feel alive. Features like lock and predict aren't just gimmicks. They're Apple's first real attempt to turn the iPhone into a platform that learns, adapts, and predicts. This is important because we are entering a new age of smartphones. For years, the big battles were fought over hardware. Bigger screens, better came. RAS, longer batteries. Those battles aren't over, but they are no longer enough. The new frontier is intelligence. Phones that can anticipate what you need before you even think about it. Phones that can protect your data while still giving you powerful new tools. Phones that stop being passive devices and start being active assistants. And Apple knows this. That's why the iPhone 17 lineup carries such a wide price range. By creating models from $50 all the way up to over $1,000, Apple is spreading AI adoption across all levels of the market. They want these predictive tools in as many hands as possible because the more people use them, the smarter the system becomes. Now, let's talk competition. Apple doesn't operate in a vacuum. Every year, Samsung, Google, Xiaomi, and others push their own innovations. Samsung experiments with foldables. Google invests in computational photography and AI-driven experiences. Chinese brands push hardware limits with massive megapixel counts and lightning-fast charging speeds. So how does the iPhone 17 Pro Max stand against all of that? In some ways, it feels conservative. No foldable display. No radical new form factor. No crazy 10-minute full charge. But what Apple does differently is refinement. They don't chase gimmicks. They chase experiences. While others may boast bigger numbers on a spec sheet, Apple focuses on integration, how the camera, chip, software, and AI all work together seamlessly. And this is where Apple has a lasting advantage. Their ecosystem. If you own an iPad, a MacBook, or even AirPods, the iPhone 17 Pro Max doesn't just work as a standalone device. It fits into a larger system. Your photos sync across devices. Your calls and messages jump between platforms. Your files stay updated in the cloud. Competitors may match Apple in one category, but very few can match the total experience. Still, Apple can't ignore the pressure. With the iPhone 17 Pro Max priced above $1,200, they must prove to customers why it's worth it. And that's where the camera system, the AI features, and the stealth storage options come into play. Apple is betting that people will see the value not only in the hardware, but in the future these features unlock. Let's zoom out even more. What does this mean for the smartphone industry? For one, it signals the next big trend: deeper integration of AI into everyday mobile use. It's not about chatbots or gimmicks. It's about invisible intelligence running in the background. Your phone analyzing patterns, learning your habits, making life smoother. The iPhone 17 lineup is one of the clearest signs, yet that smartphones are moving from being reactive tools to proactive assistants. This also raises questions about privacy. Apple has always marketed itself as the company that protects user data. With AI features collecting more information to predict behavior, how will Apple strike the balance between personalization and privacy? That tension is going to define the next few years of mobile technology. Customers will demand both convenience and protection. Whoever solves that balance best will dominate the market. Now let's return to you, the user. What does the iPhone 17 Pro Max offer in your day-to-day life? Imagine you're traveling. The lighter design makes it easier to carry. The new camera setup lets you capture stunning shots of landscapes at night without extra equipment. The promotion video technology gives you professional-level footage in your pocket. And when your storage starts to fill up, stealth storage unlocks hidden capacity to save your files. All of this happens while the AI quietly learns your preferences, suggesting apps, predicting your needs, and keeping things ready before you even ask. For businesses, the story is even bigger. Lock and predict AI tools open new possibilities for customer engagement. Companies can learn how customers interact with their brand, analyze behavior patterns, and adapt quickly. In a way, the iPhone 17 is not just a device for individuals. It's also a data platform for enterprises looking to stay ahead. Another important angle is accessibility. By creating an entry-level iPhone 17 priced at just $50, Apple is opening doors for markets that couldn't previously afford premium smartphones. This is a strategic move. It means more people enter Apple's ecosystem. Even if they don't buy the Pro Max, they become Apple users. And over time, many of them will upgrade. This is how Apple maintains dominance, not by selling one model, but by creating a lifetime journey for the customer.